Viewers, good evening. Secularism is not a festive decoration, but a fundamental principle. You would all agree with me. But Rahul Gandhi's Congress party does not think so, viewers. Let's talk about the delightful display of secularism by the Congress government in Telangana. They've really outdone themselves by deciding that during Ramzan, Muslim employees can check out an hour early. You could call it Congress's Ramzan work hour reduction scheme. Viewers, this is unarguably Congress's masterclass in appeasement, because after all, can anything be more secular than giving one community a break while others continue to toil hard? Viewers, this is not an ordinary assault on secularism. It's a full-blown parade with banners and confetti celebrating the death of constitutional equality. Viewers, why should one religious group receive special benefits that are not extended to others during their festivals? Hindus who fast during Navratri do not see similar accommodations. Christians during Lent and Sikhs during their significant festivals like Baisakhi are equally left without such concessions. Viewers, just imagine the outcry if Hindus demanded similar concessions during Diwali. Oh, the tyranny of the majority, the ecosystem would say. But when it's for votes, suddenly it's all about respecting cultural practices, at least some of them. The ecosystem with its selective outrage remains eerily silent tonight. Where are the usual champions of secularism? The ones quick to cry foul over every perceived slight against minorities. They are probably busy drafting articles on how this is a beautiful example of inclusive governance. Viewers, this selective application of secularism is not just a mockery of the Constitution, but an example of what naked appeasement looks like. It's as if the government has taken the secularism clause and turned it into a selective service menu to ask, would you like a side of reduced work hours with your festival of choice? But do all employees have this choice? Unfortunately not. Viewers, it's a clear message from the Congress party. When they say they believe in equality, they mean some are more equal than the others. The Andhra Pradesh government has done the same thing. It's the same circular, worded in a similar manner, extended this concession. Sample the reactions, then we debate.
मैं हमारे तेलंगाना राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री रेवंत रेड्डी जी से पूछना चाहूंगा, क्या उगादी के समय पर, क्या हिंदू फेस्टिवलों के समय पर, क्या इस तरह का जीवो आपको याद नहीं आता? एक केसीआर था, जो हम उस केसीआर को 8वां निजाम कहते थे, लेकिन तेलंगाना की दुर्भाग्य देखिए, एक 9वां निजाम पैदा हो चुका है रेवंत रेड्डी के रूप में.
If Ramzan is appeasement, then Mahakumbh is also appeasement. If we have respect for Mahakumbh, we should have respect for Ramzan also.
रमज़ान के महीने में लोग सुबह से लेकर शाम तक कुछ खाते नहीं, पानी पीते नहीं. अगर कोई सरकार उनको रिलीफ दे रही है तो उसका तमाम लोगों को स्वागत करना चाहिए. थोड़ी देर की छुट्टी पहले मिल रही है, उन्होंने किया है, तो इसका मैं स्वागत करता हूं.
You heard the reactions. Let's quickly open this up. Danish Qureshi, political analyst. Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji on the panel. Professor Atikur Rahman. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, will be joining us. Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Dr. Ranganathan completes this panel, needs no introduction. Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji, what is this brand of secularism, sir? That Muslim employees can leave 1 hour early? Will you extend the same concessions to Hindus, Sikhs, Jains during Paryushan?
Yeah, Pranesh, good evening. You know, one thing is very certain and very clear in your show tonight, that your opposition is not about productivity or fairness, but about targeting Muslims, revealing a deep-seated prejudice against a specific community, nothing more, nothing less. If I go by the precedents that were there with regards to leave early during Ramzan days, then you must be asking the same question to Narendra Modi ji's government, under whose the Railway Ministry had issued a circular in 2017 permitting Muslim employees to leave early at least 1.5 hours before the office scheduled closure time. Now you need to ask this question to the Bihar government in which BJP is a partner. You need to ask this question to the Telugu Desam of Andhra Pradesh, or which BJP is a partner. You need to ask these questions to West Bengal government also. I can't understand one simple thing, that your objection to a particular community seeking some favors from the government is appeasement, but hundreds and thousands of crores being spent on the Kumbh Mela, nobody has got an objection. No opposition party, no Muslim has ever objected to thousands of crores being spent on a Hindu festival. What is that? Majority appeasement? You will never want to call it a majority appeasement, because these are also citizens of India.
Now,
the Muslims of this country, they
very
are
well,
not
Mr.
Rohingyas or
Kamruzaman
Bangladeshis.
Chaudhary, listen. The Congress, you should be answering for the Congress party. I will ask the BJP, the JDU we've asked before we will ask the TDP. No, 1 minute. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. There are other things that these parties say. Will you be comfortable saying it? You will not. I will get there. But you answer for the Congress party. Do you know of Article 15 of the Constitution? आप लोग बोलते जय संविधान, Rahul Gandhi flashes a copy of the Samvidhan. What does it say? Will you follow the JDU model of constitution secularism? What is your defense of this? Would you extend similar benefits to other communities? You answer that question.
Why not? Why don't you take that? Pranesh, 5,000 years old you call the Sanatan religion is, and you want to compare the Sanatan religion with Islam, which is hardly
No,
1500 years
I
old.
want to only draw your attention that the constitutions, constitution underlines equality. There can be no discrimination on the basis of religion. Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji, the book that your leader displays, kabhi padh bhi liya kijiye usko.
That's what I'm speaking.
It will help you. Ashutosh Mishra ji, what is this brand of secularism, sir?
So in Telangana, the same government also gives 13 days off for Dussehra. Why don't we speak about that?
Sir, that 13-day Dussehra off was not only for, 1 minute. Was it only for Hindus?
So
You answer my question. Was the 13-day Dussehra only for Hindu?
And even this Ramzan.
Sir, answer the question. You are saying that there was a 13-day Dussehra off. Answer the question. अभी आपने example दिया आशुतोष जी, ऐसे भागिए मत. अभी आप बताइए. Was it only for Hindus? सबके लिए था ना? गणेश चतुर्थी में छुट्टी मिलती है, सबको मिलती है ना? क्रिसमस छुट्टी सबके लिए होती है, होली छुट्टी सबके लिए होती है. What is this special concession? Why?
That's what I'm saying. It's not in the sense it's not for all Muslims whose duties
are needed in case of exigencies will not get it. It's for people who want to take a day off. So 13 days, and we have so many festivals which are given.
Okay, so festivals, no. So employees,
Secularism does not mean religiousness.
तो सर आप बोलते जितनी आबादी उतना हक. 1 minute sir, 1 minute. You see, you are entering into dangerous territory by the the abadi logic that your leaders extend. Imagine if Hindu employees were sent off, were given off on their festivals. काम कौन करेगा? कैसे करेंगे आप काम?
आप ये बताइए, महाकुंभ में कौन सा काम कर रहे हैं मोदी जी की डबल सरकार?
महाकुंभ पे भी आएंगे सर, अभी तो शुरुआत हुई है, अभी महाकुंभ पे भी आएंगे. अभी महाकुंभ पे भी आएंगे. देखिए, it takes one question for the mask to slip. Ashutosh Mishra, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, one question for the mask to slip. Here both of you were advocating what's wrong. We will give the concession to all communities. You see how you are berating our community already. Now before I bring in the BJP, Dr. Ranganathan, there is a reason why this keeps happening again and again. Congress, JDU, TDP.
Good evening, Pranesh, and good evening to my fellow panelists. Before I come to the thrust of the debate out here, let me deal with this outrageous analogy and equivalence that some panelists are drawing with the Kumbh. It is fallacious and facetious, I beg your pardon, on two counts. Number one, only the Hindu temples and the Hindu temple land is under the control of the state. So the state has an obligation to spend money that it reaches billions of, a fraction of it, on Hindu festivals. If the mosques were under the control of the state, then yes, many Muslim festivals also the state should spend some money. In fact, for maintaining law and order, as the ignorant panelist does not perhaps know, there is Tablighi Iltija happens every year where tens of millions of Muslims congregate. The state pays for the law and order maintenance there. If in the Kumbh you are spending 7,000, 5,000 crores in maintaining law and order, in having facilitating 500 million Indians visiting the Kumbh to generate a GDP that would be in percentage points more, in fact 2 or 3 lakh crores. The state has an obligation. वरना ऐसा करो सारे मॉस्क के ताले जो हैं बंद करके चाबी स्टेट को दे दो. वो नहीं करेंगे ये. मॉस्क को कंट्रोल करना है, हिंदू टेम्पल्स को कंट्रोल करके उनका पैसा लूटना है और वो इमाम्स की सैलरीज में देना है. ये इंडियन सेकुलरिज्म है. नाउ इफ आई कैन कम to the thrust of the topic. Look, unless we deal with the psyche of appeasement, Pranesh, this kind of murderer's game will continue and will destroy the country. Because I will either have a divided India or a destroyed India, had said Jinnah. And while he managed the former, the Congress is intent upon managing the latter through uncontrolled runaway appeasement. And unless one understands the various stages of it, Pranesh, one can neither recommend nor apply a cure to this disease of appeasement. And the three stages of appeasement are welfare, wokefare, and warfare. And Congress is now unapologetic about projecting them as an achievement of sorts. Let me explain. The first stage of appeasement, welfare. Well, it starts innocuously with the flawed pretext that the Muslim minorities are worse off than the rest and that they are victims and that they always exclusively suffer and fare worse off after every social strife, and that because of all this, not only do they need preferential care, it is the majority's obligation and moral duty to be preferential towards them. Not for nothing did Prime Minister Manmohan Singh assert that Muslims have the first right to resources. And so you have the state giving Muslims Hajj subsidy for decades, giving blanket reservations to Muslims, rich or poor, homeless or billionaire, by snatching it from the OBC quota, using taxpayers' money to host grand iftar parties, asking government-run UGC to fund minority institutions that keep 50% seats reserved for minorities, plundering state coffers to pay monthly salaries to tens of thousands of Maulvis, giving scholarships and shadi shagans to Muslim women, providing midday meal dining hall for only those schools having 70% or more minority students, giving interest-free loans to set up shops on Waqf land, funding hundreds of madrasas, the Islamic schools, and all this while grandly proclaiming that it is a secular state. That is total demarcation between state and religion. The next stage of Muslim appeasement, Pranesh, is more dangerous, wokefare. Wokefare targets the mind. This is the stage where the Indian state employs a quite brilliant tactic to appease and benefit its Muslim vote bank. It poisons the Hindu mind with self-loathing, hatred for his own religion and way of life, drilling apathy towards the slow destruction of Hinduism through speeches, broadcasts, policies, arts, culture, cinema. So you have Mahatma Gandhi saying, quote, Hindus should not harbor anger in their hearts against Muslims, even if the latter wanted to destroy them. Even if Muslims want to kill us all, we should face death bravely. If they establish their rule after killing Hindus, we would be ushering in a new world, unquote. So you have Nehru trying to stop the president from attending the consecration of Somnath, saying he feared Hindu revivalism. So you have our roads, our institutions, our cities named after the barbarians who destroyed our roads, our institutions and our cities, opposing CAA, appointing Muslims on temple boards, overturning of even Supreme Court judgments like the Shah Bano. It is but obvious that welfare and wokefare can only lead to the third, perhaps terminal stage of appeasement. And here, please give me 30 seconds. That is warfare. Warfare is when you enact laws and acts that constitutionally and legally favor one community and discriminate against the other. So you have the Draconian Waqf Act, You have the conjunction of the RT with the 93rd Amendment that allows Muslim schools, but not Hindu schools to escape keeping 25% reservation for EWS. You have the state prohibiting Hindus to even approach the court to reclaim their demolished temples. You have the state controlling and taxing only temples and temple land, but not mosques. You have terrorists, PFI cadres and writers being released. You have the Congress leaders defending Simi in court, its chief crying tears in Bartla encounter, its PM demanding an apology from Denmark for the Prophet cartoons. So there we have it, just 10 seconds, Pranesh. The 3 stages of appeasement: welfare, workfare and warfare. Jinnah must be laughing. His cackle echoes in the dungeons of Patal Lok below. In his life, Pranesh, he achieved the division of India. And in his death, he has achieved its destruction.
Now, you know, had you said 30 seconds again, Kamruzaman Chaudhary and 2 others would have left. You know, you have redefined 30 seconds, Dr. Ranganathan. But Sanju Verma, Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji is accusing the BJP of double speak. He says, what about your allies JDU and TDP?
You know, Pranesh, I hope I will get ample time to make my points. First and foremost, let's get one thing very clear. You know, beyond rhetoric, let us talk about hard numbers. You know, Revant Reddy says that he wants to allow, school teachers, college teachers, contractual workers, public sector employees, lower hours of work during Ramzan so that they can attend to their religious festivities. Now, my simple point is this. There is nothing wrong if you want to give 1 hour or 2 hour leeway to a school teacher or to a college professor if he or she wants to take part in the Ramzan festivities. But I have a problem when the Congress refuses to actually acknowledge that all that it has done in the last 7.5 decades of post-independent India for the Muslim community is only tokenism. And I'll tell you why. In Lok Sabha 2019, the Congress gave tickets to 34 Muslim candidates. In Lok Sabha 2024, the Congress gave tickets to only 19 Muslim candidates. Look at the Samajwadi Party. Even they believe in pseudo-secularism. In Lok Sabha 2019, Akhilesh Yadav's party gave tickets to 8 Muslim candidates. Come 2024, Akhilesh Yadav's party gave tickets to only 4 Muslim candidates. Then let's talk about the TMC, Mamta Banerjee. In 2019 Lok Sabha, she gave tickets to 13 Muslim candidates. In 2024 Lok Sabha elections, she gave tickets to only 6 Muslim candidates. Chalo, maan lete hain hypothetically that the BJP does not encourage Muslims. ठीक है, hypothetically. But beat Akhilesh Yadav, beat Mamta Banerjee, beat Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, ये तो सीना तान के डंके की चोट पे छाती चौड़ी करके कहते हैं we are all for the Muslims. If that is true, I want to ask you one thing. How is it that in Lok Sabha 2024 there are only 24 Muslim candidates who have been elected? In Lok Sabha 2019 that number was 26. And the more interesting bit is less than 7% of the Congress MPs are Muslims. Less than 4% of Akhilesh Yadav's MPs are Muslims. Less than 5% of Mamta Banerjee's party's MPs are Muslims. So the first argument I'm making is that Muslims have been used for just tokenism by various so-called pro-Muslim parties, and they have done zilch. They have done nothing for the Muslim community when it comes to mainstreaming them in the electoral process. Point number 2. In the Telangana Assembly elections that were held in 2023, out of 119 seats, Revant Reddy's Congress party won 64 seats with a 39% vote share. After winning 64 MLAs, getting 64 MLAs into the Telangana Assembly, Revant Reddy has appointed 1717 cabinet ministers across 33 departments. And let me tell you, Pranesh, there is not a single Muslim minister in Revant Reddy's cabinet. So this entire brouhaha कि भाई हम मुसलमानों के समक्ष और उनके समर्थन में खड़े हैं, that is nothing but tokenism, that is nothing but wokeism by the Congress party. My final point is this. I have no problem if Muslims get extra hours to partake of their religious festivities. But be it Ram Navami, be it Holi, be it Deepavali, beat Krishna Jayanti, beat Saraswati Puja, beat Ganesh Puja, जब छुट्टी मिलती है, what is the attitude? अरे भाई गणेश पूजा में बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज बंद रखने की क्या जरूरत है? अरे सरस्वती पूजा में नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज बंद रखने की क्या जरूरत है? अरे रामनवमी में 2 दिन का ऑप्शनल हॉलिडे क्यों दिया गया है पब्लिक सेक्टर वर्कर्स को? अरे दिवाली में 3 दिन की छुट्टी क्यों दी है भाई? हमको तो रमजान में सिर्फ 2 दिन की छुट्टी मिलती है। अरे होली में तो गंदगी फैलाई जाती है, होली में ऑप्शनल हॉलिडे क्यों दिया गया है भाई? बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज बंद रखने की क्या जरूरत थी भाई? सो दिस इज द एटीट्यूड दैट आई एम अगेंस्ट। एंड लेट मी से वन थिंग, थैंक गॉड वी हैव नरेंद्र मोदी एट द हेल्म। A 500-year-old civilizational battle was brought to fruition, and last year we had the Ram Janmabhoomi Pran Pratishtha celebration.
No, Sanju Verma, that's wonderful. Now answer this question. While you are calling this move tokenism, how do you explain what the TDP has done in Andhra Pradesh?
Yes, just 10 seconds more. Pranesh, without being offensive to anyone, because it is Narendra Modi who's the Prime Minister today, you and me are able to enjoy the benefits of having the Bhavya Kumbh, where more than 50 crore people by the end of February would have taken Ganga Snan, Amrit Snan. It is thank God for Narendra Modi that a 500-year-old civilizational battle came to fruition और भव्य राम मंदिर बन रहा है, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो चुकी है।
संजू वर्मा,
Narendra Modi is in power.
No. Answer my question, ma'am. If what Congress is doing is tokenism, how would you describe what Andhra Pradesh government has done? It's the same circular, same benefits.
Pranesh, I am very clear about one thing. Any government, it could be BJP, BJP's alliance partners or non-BJP ruled, I will simply, for the benefit of your audience, reinforce what Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, said. He said, we have no problem giving reservations to Amar or Akbar or Anthony. But Amar will get reservation not because he is a Hindu, but if he is somebody who belongs to the
No, so would you condemn the TDP? Would you condemn the TDP, ma'am? Would you condemn the TDP in the same? No, like you've condemned the Congress? Short answer. There are others waiting.
Yes, so my short answer is this. I will simply toe the Supreme Court's line on this. The Supreme Court has said reservation on grounds of religion are not acceptable.
Okay, there should be no discrimination on basis of religion. Danish Qureshi, ये जो बेनिफिट तेलंगाना और आंध्रा में मिल रहा है एक कम्युनिटी को, क्या बाकी कम्युनिटीज को सर ये मिलना चाहिए?
देखिए, बेनिफिट्स की जो बात है मैं आपको बताऊं, ये है गुजरात हाई कोर्ट का एक ऑर्डर। इसमें मैं खुद पिटिशनर था 2022 में। गुजरात के अंदर में पर्यूषण के दौरान 12 दिन स्लॉटर हाउस बंद रहता है। तेलंगाना के कंपैरिजन में या टीडीपी के ऑर्डर के कंपैरिजन में तो डिफरेंस क्या है वो मैं आपको बता दूं। वहां फोर्स किसी को नहीं किया जा रहा है कि भाई आप इफ्तारी के लिए आप नॉनवेज ले लीजिएगा, इफ्तारी करिएगा, फोर्स नहीं किया जा रहा है। जो भी अगर मुसलमान है तो वो एम्प्लॉय है तो वो अगर जाना चाहता है तो जाता है। लेकिन यहां तो पूरे गुजरात में पाबंदी लगा दी जाती है 12 दिन तक आप भी नहीं। अरे भाई मैं जैन थोड़ा ही हूं, मैं तो मुसलमान हूं, मेरा तो नॉन वेजिटेरियन डाइट है, मेरा राइट है। लेकिन हाईकोर्ट का ये कहना है कि क्या आप दूर नहीं रह सकते? तब आप
नहीं, आप बिल्कुल, आपको सर यू हैव एक मिनट दानिश कुरैशी जी, आपका बिल्कुल डाइट पे आपका प्रेफरेंस है, लेकिन पहले डाइट है या रूल ऑफ लॉ है सर? पहले कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है कि पहले खाना है? ये बता दीजिए, फिर मैं दूसरा सवाल पूछता हूं।
तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ही तो मुझे इजाजत देता है, कोई पाबंदी लगी है? और
वही तो मैं पूछ रहा हूं, तो इन प्रिंसिपल तो बोलिए कि ये गलत है।
स्टेट में सुनिए अरे मैं आगे और सुनिए मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि अगर ये पर्यूषण के अंदर में पाबंदी है तो रमजान में भी पूरे देश में शराब पे पाबंदी लग जानी चाहिए, क्योंकि इस्लाम में तो हराम है। तो अगर कोई जैन के लिए प्रिफर नहीं करता है कि भाई अगर वो मुसलमान है इसलिए
why they give this concession to Muslims? ये कंसेशन सबके लिए रख दीजिए कि ड्यूरिंग द होली मंथ ऑफ रमजान सब 1 घंटे पहले जा सकते हैं। और आपने जो ये पर्यूषण वाला एग्जाम्पल दिया डॉक्टर रंगनाथन, 30 सेकेंड में, एक और 30 सेकेंड वो जवाब देंगे। अतीकुर रहमान, मैं आ रहा हूं आपके पास।
देखिए, ये दैनिक साहब की मैं इज्जत करता हूं, लेकिन इनका पॉइंट बिल्कुल वैलिड इसलिए नहीं है क्योंकि जो लाखों जानवर सैक्रिफाइस किए जाते हैं हर रोज, जो मुस्लिम्स खाते हैं हलाल करने के बाद, हलाल एक डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी एक्शन है बिकॉज ओनली मुस्लिम्स आर अलाउड टू परफॉर्म हलाल। अब ये कह दें अगर दानिश साहब की कोई भी हलाल परफॉर्म कर सकता है तो ठीक है, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन हट जाएगी। और दूसरी बात, आप खुद जानते होंगे एएमयू में और बहुत ऐसी जगह होती है जहां पे आप एनफोर्स भले ही रिटर्न ना करें, लेकिन जब रमजान चल रहा होता है तो कोई भी खाना नहीं खा सकता। ये बहुत सारे ऐसे किस्से आए। बहरहाल मैं एनेक्डोटल उस पे नहीं जा रहा। आप कह रहे हैं कि जैन फेस्टिवल पे आपको बैन नहीं करना चाहिए। मैं खुद मानता हूं, आई एम अगेंस्ट बैनिंग, लेकिन आप डबल स्टैंडर्ड्स मत रखिए। व्हाई आर यू बैनिंग नॉन मुस्लिम्स फ्रॉम परफॉर्मिंग हलाल?
दानिश जी,
देखिए, मैं आपको कहूं, दरअसल ये जो रंगनाथन जी का जो तर्क है ना, वो बेसलेस है। मैंने ये कहा कि भाई जो जैन हैं वो इसको प्रेफर करें, अच्छी बात है, हमें उससे कोई एतराज नहीं है, लेकिन पूरे शहर में, पूरे देश में पाबंदी लगा दी जाए, क्या इज इट पॉसिबल है? और सुनिए सुनिए, आगे सुनिए रंगनाथन जी, 10 मिनट आप आगे सुन लीजिए। मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि ड्यूरिंग द होली मंथ ऑफ रमजान, क्या हम तो ऐसा क्लेम नहीं कर रहे हैं कि भाई शराब, अरे 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 रंगनाथन जी रुक जाइए, ड्यूरिंग द होली मंथ ऑफ रमजान हम तो ये नहीं कह रहे कि शराब पे पाबंदी लगा दीजिए, बंद कर दीजिए,
डॉक्टर रंगनाथन कह रहे हैं डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ही हटा दीजिए।
कह रहा हूं कि
आप कहिए, नहीं, आप ये कहिए कि जो हलाल का जो सप्लाई चेन है उसमें नॉन मुस्लिम्स भी हो सकते हैं। आप बस इतना बोल दीजिए, वो उस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की बात कर रहे हैं। बट यू कैन थिंक अबाउट इट, टेक अ फ्यू मिनट्स, थिंक अबाउट इट, कोई जल्दी नहीं है। अतीकुर रहमान साहब, यू आर एन इस्लामिक स्कॉलर, reasonable man, sir. These special concessions that the Muslims are getting, shouldn't other communities get in their festivals, during their festivals?
Pranesh, at the outset, may I request all Muslims across India, across the world, that Allah demands piety from His devotees without any concessions, without seeking any concessions of any kind. Either it is for fasting or performing Hajj or performing namaz. Allah expects His devotees to complete all their social responsibilities, their duties, and after performing all their social responsibilities and duties, then come and seek the blessings of Allah. You cannot bypass any of your responsibilities either towards your family, your friends, your state, wherever you are working as a
Atikur
professor or
Rahman,
anything.
sir, answer my question. Is this concession fair, secular,
Yes.
communal? What is this?
I was coming to it. Pradesh, every now and then I visit in Mumbai our municipal corporations. There is no week, no month, not a single festivity which I have not participated along with my BMC officers within their offices. There is a Satyanarayan ki puja everywhere in our BMC offices. Sanju Verma must be knowing it is performed within their duty hours. There is no objection towards that, but they do not compromise with their work schedule.
Sir,
And
1
that
minute.
is
No.
where
It's
the point lies.
is there a circular that Hindu employees will get time to perform puja? Is there a
Yes.
circular?
Yes.
Is there a
it
circular?
normal activity.
Is there a circular
It
that
is.
Hindu employees will get extra time to perform puja or get
It is
concessions
a-
if they are performing puja?
It is
What
a
is this
normal-
whataboutery? Sir, 1 minute. I am also from Bombay. If you are, I said it in the beginning. Ganesh Chaturthi holidays सबके लिए होते हैं, ऐसा तो नहीं है हिंदू एम्प्लॉयज को छुट्टी मिलती है। डॉक्टर रंगनाथन,
all government servants, all Muslim government servants, many of them also conduct namaz 5 times a day. ये सत्यनारायण की पूजा का बीच में एंगल कहां से आ गया भाई? Muslims are allowed to perform namaz 5 times a day. क्या चल रहा है ये?
Objecting to the Satyanarayan puja.
it's not about the puja. Is there a government circular asking employees that look, if you have to perform puja, 1 घंटा पहले चले जाइए? नहीं है अतीकुर रहमान जी, कहां घूम रहे हैं आप?
Second point, Pranesh.
फर्स्ट पॉइंट ही गलत है, so make the first point again.
The first point relates to that in the Indian context, all offices have majority of the Hindus working in the offices, whether they are government, semi-government or private.
So?
And they do their pujas and they perform their devout duties, and there is no objection to any community. It is only the BJP, since it is come to power.
Do you think anybody on the panel has objected to people? No. People, people have right to their religion, sir. You can do whatever puja, prayer you want. But the government, state can't, 1 minute, sir, state can't give concessions on the basis of religion. Had this circular read that all employees during the holy month of Ramadan, all employees will be allowed to leave early. All employees. तब ठीक था, इतना outrage नहीं होता. But you see, Hindus don't get this concession in Navratras. Sikhs don't have any concessions during their festival. Christians don't get it. That's the problem, Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji. And you were talking about Kumbh, Ashutosh Mishra. Mamata Banerjee, your alliance partner, has called it Mrityu Kumbh. And Kamruzaman Chaudhary ji, you were talking about the right brand of secularism. You have a problem when the Prime Minister receives the Emir of Qatar with a warm hug. This is your problem.
Got a new brand of Sanatan called Hindutva in India, wherein the Prime Minister of India will hug the Emir of Qatar. Very fine, it's a foreign diplomacy. India needs to gain for it. Whereas his own Chief Minister on the floor of the Assembly will call a particular section of the community as Kat Mullahs. This is how you have degraded Indian society, the pluralistic society that we were all proud of. And by comparing the Muslim festivities or Muslim religious customs and dog whistling the Hindu community.
Where is the dog whistle?
Muslims are enjoying this.
Where is the dog whistle?
Hindus are not going.
You can enjoy whatever you want, which is legally allowed. Enjoy whatever you want to. But what is the dog whistle here? I am calling out the discrimination, sir, your hypocrisy.
Pranesh, this is not discrimination, this is dirt in your mind, Pranesh.
Oh, dirt in my mind.
And hate for a particular community.
Oh, dirt in my mind because you see, one community is more equal than the other. If you question this brand of secularism of the Congress party, then you have dirt in your mind. Sanju Verma.
Thank you. Pranesh, let's get one thing very clear. I have been a Mumbaikar for donkey's years. Be it Ganesh Puja, be it Saraswati Puja, be it Ram Navami, be it Rakhi, be it Deepavali, be it Holi. There are no special concessions given कि भाई आप स्कूल जल्दी आइए या छुट्टी जल्दी लीजिए या कॉलेज प्रोफेसर्स को कहा जाए कि आप 2 घंटे की छुट्टी ले लीजिए या कि कॉन्ट्रैक्चुअल एम्प्लॉइज या पब्लिक सेक्टर वर्कर्स को कहा जाए राखी के दिन यदि छुट्टी नहीं है फिर भी आप छुट्टी लेंगे तो इट विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज लीव विदाउट पे. Those concessions are not given. But I want to touch on the bigger debate very quickly. I want to focus on the fact that when we are talking about the Uniform Civil Code, the entire Muslim community, barring a few stray exceptions, say that we need to maintain diversity. Unity in diversity se hame parhez hai. But the same Muslim community, when we talk about CAA and giving special treatment to persecuted minorities from Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Pakistan, then they say, why special treatment to minorities? मतलब आपको यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड के तहत डाइवर्सिटी चाहिए, but आपको CAA के तहत सिमिलैरिटी चाहिए.
I'll tell you, viewers, the problem is that the Congress party thinks only Muslims are the minority. Sikhs are not minorities. Parsis are not minority. Christians are not minorities. You see, it's a mindset problem. Dr. Ranganathan, quickly.
No, but let me please correct you out there. Muslims never think they are the minority. They think they are the greatest, they are the majority. And they will be. It's fact. But, ये जो अभी कह रहे थे, such horrible language was used by one panelist against you. I apologize on, I don't know whose behalf, your dirt in your mind and all those abuses. This same guy, if I were to quote a few verses, I don't know what he's going to do. But as far as, Atikur Saab, he's an Islamic scholar, I respect him. इन्होंने शुरू बहुत अच्छे तरह से किया कि अल्लाह ने ये कहा है कि मुस्लिम्स को ये, अल्लाह ने तो ये भी कहा है, polytheists are the worst of creatures 98:6. तो क्या सारे मुस्लिम्स वो मानना शुरू कर दें? लेकिन आप कहेंगे कॉन्टेक्स्ट आ रहा है, आप पढ़ नहीं सकते क्योंकि आप काफिर हैं, आपको कुरान पढ़ना अलाउड नहीं है। वो जो पॉलीथीस थे वो 1300 साल पहले थे तो पॉलीथीस 1300 साल पहले के थे, लेकिन मुस्लिम तब के नहीं थे, मुस्लिम तब के भी हैं। तो अल्लाह जो मुस्लिम्स के लिए कह रहा है वो अब के मुस्लिम्स के लिए कह रहा है, लेकिन जो पॉलीथीस और हिंदूज के लिए कह रहा है वो तब के लिए कह रहा है। तो ये डाइकोटमी छोड़िए, सब लोग सीख चुके हैं। एज फार एज यू आर सेइंग सत्यनारायण की पूजा अलाउ है, तो नमाज भी 5 बार पढ़ना अलाउड है। मुस्लिम्स करोड़ों की संख्या में सड़कों पे भी आके ड्यूरिंग ऑफिस आवर्स नमाज
The
पढ़ते हैं।
festival is not the problem. The concession that the state is giving on basis of religion, that's the problem, viewers. There's no other way to say it. We'll have to thank some of you, Mr. Mishra. Thank you for, in fact, Danish Qureshi and Atikur Rahman. Thank you for joining us. We move on, viewers.